Good morning, sir. Today's second article topic is on contraction slows. As lockdown restrictions ease, the economy sees the first signs of recovery. So, as the lockdown restrictions decrease day by day, there is an increase in economy. There was a first sign of recovery. So, let's start today's second article. The latest data on output at the eight core industries point to tentative signs that the pandemic spurred economic contractions may have begun to bottom out. So, here tentative means not certain or fixed, provisional or unsettled. So the latest updates and output of the industries are unsettled signs, means like not fixed signs that the pandemic spurred economic contraction. Means like pandemic have decreased the economic contractions and may begin in soon. Commerce Ministry provisional figures show that while overall production at the infrastructure industries extended their year-on-year decline to a fourth straight month in June, shrinking 15%, the pace at which activity contracted slowed for a second consecutive month following April's precipitous 37% plunge. So here provisional in this meaning sentence means temporary. So commerce ministry are the temporary figures of overall production of infrastructure industries have increased day by day, year by year decline, and from first month, and this is the fourth month, shrinking 15%, and the pace have contracted slowed for a second consecutive month following April's precipitous. Here precipitous meaning is high or steep. So these are 37% plunge in April, so increase. The sector-wise performance also affirms that the gradual reopening since June appears to have helped tease back some smattering of demand in the economy. So affirms meaning is that declare, state, assert or proclaim. And smattering means slight knowledge of language or subject. So the sentence of the meaning of the sentence is section wise. There is a declare that the gradual reopening means the since the reopening in June, there is a smattering, a slight knowledge, slight increase on this economy. So there is a slightly increase in the economy. And of the seven industries that extended their contractions, and the seven industries have extended their decline. Only coal shrank at a faster pace of 15.5% than in May. So, than in May, coal shrank faster 15.5, but remaining all have a low decline. And when production had declined 14%, and production have been declined from 14%. Refinery products, the largest weight on the index contributing 28%, shrank 8.9%, marketing an improvement from the 21.3% contractions seen the previous month. So there was a total of 28% of refinery products, and this month it only shrank 8.9% compared to the previous month, which was 21.3%. The lifting of restrictions on inter and intrastate movement of persons and goods revived both vehicular movement and consequently demand for auto fuels. So, removing the restrictions on inter and intrastate movement, persons and goods are now able to move freely. Means there are vehicles moving around and people moving around, and goods also like auto fuels and etc. With personal modes of mobility preferred given the fear of infection, petrol product consumption grew 11% month on month in June. So, with some fear of infection, persons feel that there is a fear of infection, and the petrol product consumption grew 11%. It have increased month by month in June, from June or in June. Electricity output too fell at a slower 11% pace in the preceding months, 14.8% slump, again signaling an uptick in demand from some manufacturing clusters, including in western and northern India. So, electricity is now declining slower than the previous month. So, it is in a rate of 11% decline, which is less than the decline in the previous month, which is 14.8%. And there is an increase in the demand from some manufacturing clusters of western and northern India. Among the other sectors, while steel production continued to tumble, output shrank by more than a third, 33.8% from June 2019. Cement appeared to have put the worst behind as urban constructions and projections under the rural job guarantee scheme spurred demand. So, if you consider other sectors also, steel has the most decrease, and it shrank up to 33.8%. And the decrease, there was a less decrease in cement industries also. Cement output fell 6.9%, a sharp deceleration in the pace of decline from May's 21.4% contraction. So there was a decline in the decrease in the decline of cement industry. So it was 21.4% in May, but it has now decreased to 6.9%. Fertilizers, the only industries to post growth for a second straight month, however, saw the expansion ease to 4.2% from 7.5% in May. So the only industry fertilizer is the only industry in which we can see the uprise from the second month. This was the second month, and it have risen from 7.5% to 4.2%. Still, with monsoon activity above normal so far this year, Kharif sowing was almost 14% high as on July 31st than at the same time in 2018. So, due to the monsoon, this normal year, Kharif was 14% high as compared from July 31st at the same time in the previous year, which is 2019. With the IMD forecasting above average rainfall in August and September as well, the outlook for the agriculture reliant rural economy is far more promising than for most other sectors. So, the IMD forecasting have said that there will be rainfall even in August and September as it is now, and depending on agriculture is more finer than any other sectors. To be sure, the economy is still a fair distance from a sustained turnaround, with other data flagging the risks to a recovery. So, economy is still in decline compared to others. For one, the significant shortfalls in GST collections point to the difficulties the central and state government are facing in garnering crucially needed revenue. So, due to the significant shortfalls of GST collections, the central and state government are gathering at the revenue. This has already swelled the fiscal deficit at the end of the first quarter to 83% of the full year's target. So, in the financial economy, there is an end of first quarter to 80% of the full year's target. With the new infections curve showing no signs of plateauing as yet, policymakers have the unenviable task of stemming the COVID 19 tide without dampening economic moment. So, unenviable meaning unpleasant, undesirable. So, the policymakers have a task, means the task which they don't like, they have to stem the COVID 19 without dampening, means decreasing the economic momentum. So this article, today's second article, is about the economy. That economy is showing some increase, recovery in its status as the lockdown is decreasing, and how much percentage of industries have increased in each sector is shown in this article. Thank you.